Greetings, fam. This is Rom Wills About That Business. Micro manufacturing may be the way to go. Check it out, right? Check it out. I saw this video, and the video is in the description box about micro manufacturing. It was about this micro manufacturer of bike bags and stuff in San Francisco. All right. And basically micro manufacturing is just manufacturing on like in a smaller space. Instead of, manufacturing is generally associated with like, some big factory and everything. But micro manufacturer is somebody who might be working out their garage, or maybe a small space, like putting together stuff and selling it. I think it's the wave of the future, for one very practical reason. The big manufacturers aren't coming back. I don't care what Trump is telling you, because the politicians, they're going to be telling y'all that for a while, because it's too much money to be made to have you manufactured in a place where they can get paid the equivalent of $1 a day. It's too much money. It's too much money. The corporations are international. Why put it in like that poor Midwestern community when they could put it in a poor, quote unquote, third world community? And, the bottom line for the CEOs and the executives and the shareholders is greater. Understand that. Understand that. For those who following for the Okadoko, they're going to bring this manufacturing. No, they're not. All right. Let's just be real. That being said, I believe micro manufacturing can stay, and it can be local, and it's just a matter of just creating a product there. And it's not going to be like one of those $1 billion companies or something. Let's just be real. And you might have stuff that's handmade, but it's just a matter of you still making a product there, and then you still selling it. All right. Because and you have several micro manufacturers if you think about it. I mean, I'll tell you my own experience. And I've told people before, and I've mentioned on my other channel, about how, my first pamphlet, not really my first book, but my first pamphlet that really kind of put me on the map was this pamphlet called Finding a Good Man, something I was selling to women. That was micro manufactured. I printed it up on a computer at my grandmother's house. Had a printer that was able to print books in booklet form. So it was, perfect front and back and all of that. Probably I tore that laser printer up too, but I actually manufactured it right there. I printed it out. I put the pages together. I stapled the booklets together. That was actually micro manufacturing right there. And I've done a little bit of that before, because I've created like kind of like spiral books where you're using like a spiral thing. And I actually dealt with a company where I was getting pieces and stuff. And again, used a laser printer. That's the essence of micro manufacturing. Anything, if you can do it in your living room, your basement or something, that's micro manufacturing, and you sell it. And that's what I was doing. And I think that's what's going to happen. One, it's cheaper to use a smaller space. You're not going to ship it overseas. And many businesses ain't trying to be $1 billion businesses. They just trying to do something to stay in business. So you can manufacture something maybe in a smaller space, and then, you can still distribute it and all of that stuff. And you can do that for a lot of things. But like I knew this young lady, a very business-minded young lady, and she told me how one of her cousins, and he's a young guy, he got a t-shirt business, right? But he actually creates his own and prints his own designs. Now you got to get the t-shirt themselves wholesale. And that's kind of easy if you're in that business. You got plenty of people who will give you just a bunch of T-shirts, and then you got to print your own design. But he actually has a machine, which doesn't cost that much because I looked it up. You can get a good T-shirt printing machine that will print designs for less than $2,000. It's like, oh wow, if you got a space, you can be in business. Less than $2,000. Yeah, refer to my video about savings. See, somebody could save up for something like that and manufacture their own stuff. And even though the T-shirt business is very oversaturated, extremely oversaturated, if you got a design that people like, shoot, you can manufacture right there. And I think that's what's going to have to happen in many cases. People just got to manufacture stuff. And like I said, it's already happening. Like many people who have some type of food product, they're not sending it out. They might be manufacturing that, in their own kitchen or something. Like a lot of these people, women especially, who own like businesses where they're selling like products for hair, shampoos and stuff. They making it in their kitchens. They making it at home. Or you got some soap makers, they making it at home. Or if you have people making jewelry, they making it at home. That's micro manufacturing right there. And if you get several people, you can do that. I mean, I knew this young lady when I was had my little book stand, and she was selling jewelry at first. And the funny thing was, she got bored one day and started she took some old denim, cut it up, and was sewing together handbags and started to sell them. Now, say that took off. She could probably rent out maybe, one of those little spots. You usually see them. They like little mini warehouses and stuff, like in like a business park or something, and manufacture there where you still have it. And I think that's what's going to have to happen. Look, overall, because the previous video I talked about the retail industry. The big factory, the big stores, they going out. The wave of the future is going to be smaller businesses. Yeah, a lot of people ain't gonna make that million like they the day this gonna be a day. It's gonna be tough unless it's an online business. Somebody becoming a CEO of a brick and mortar business and becoming a multi-millionaire just for walking in, and those businesses employing thousands of people like that are going the way of the dodo. It is what it is, but what's going to have to happen, instead of a business that employs maybe 1,000 people, it might come down to like having several businesses that employ 10 people. They just specializing in something. And micro manufacturing plays a big part in that, because if you get enough people who do that, then you make some money. Everybody can have a job. And that's one thing I'm going to get into on my next video. On my next video. We really need entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm not sure if I even did something on that already, but we really need that. But in the meantime, micro manufacturing, check it out. Read up about it. Like I said, it's something that's already happening. Most people, if you build anything in your home on a small scale and you sell it, you're a micro manufacturer. If you can do it from home and all of that stuff, you micro manufacturing. So, anyway, that's it, y'all. Y'all go out there and build something, and let's go make that money.